right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. Hour number 3 coming up here in just a few minutes. We will be joined by Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports. You know, I never should try to hook up my friends with my friends. I just want to start off this segment by saying that I'm not going to say who it is, but it might have something to do with our producer. But I'm not going to say who it is. Oh, wait, I just did. No, I have a friend of mine who is a very nice young lady. I've known her for over 5 years. And, you know, my friend, our producer just got to town. I'm trying to hook him up. And it's just not going out as well as I would have hoped, JD. And now perhaps it's affecting my friendship with this woman. So how do you think I should handle this? How should I do this? I'm blaming him for the fact that she's been ignoring my calls for 2 days. She never ignores me. In fact, she's calling me every day. In fact, I have to tell her to stop texting me during the radio show. Do you know she's texted me during the radio show like 10 times? I say, leave me alone. I'm doing the damn radio show.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't your mother back in Connecticut send her a message to remind you to get your flu shot?
That is true because my mother does care about me. But she texts me. I'm like, I'm doing a radio show. Leave me alone. And now she's not returning my calls. I don't know what my producer did to her. For God's sakes, what did he do? Did he pull a Matt Lauer and drop Trow? What? This is the nicest girl you could meet. She's very sweet. She does get a little moody at times, but she's a very nice girl. She's not even returning my calls anymore. What the hell did this guy do? We should do a segment tomorrow and just talk about this. I want to find out what he did.
Wait, this is after 2 days?
Okay.
This reaction sounds like more of a 3-month thing, Brian. I think you're overreacting.
No, it's not a 3-month.
48 hours. This type of reaction.
She's been treating me.
You're accusing Jason Stein of Matt Lauering this woman after 48 hours.
I'm not accused.
Aren't you just a little sensitive in this situation, Brian?
Well,
let's wait another 2 months before you have another blow up.
Well, he does have a button.
This is a little too soon.
He does have a button in his office. He does have a button at his desk, so I don't know what he uses that button for, but he might have some things in common with Matt Lauer. I don't know. This is a lesson to you all. Okay. Can I just bring? Okay, here he comes in. Here you go, Stein. What happened? Why is she not talking to me? What did you do to my friend?
First of all,
what did you do?
First of all, I don't have an office. Yeah, that's the first thing. I'm been downgraded to some kind of bunker here. I'm in a corner of I share a studio, a tiny 5x5. Studio with John Schaefer. They kicked me out of the other room that they had me in, which was slightly larger.
We call it the content bunker.
You don't deserve. What did you do to my friend? Why is she not talking to me?
But the reason I came in here was to tell you that Mike Babcock is ready to go here. So
so that's why you came. You don't want to
change the topic here.
You don't want to talk about.
I love that segue.
You don't want to talk about why my friend won't talk to me because I tried to hook you up with her.
Went out. I think there's something wrong with her. Went out with her a couple times. Had a lovely time. Went out for Japanese food. What do you call the small plates with Japanese?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that.
I have no idea.
Did you get to second base? Yes or no?
No.
Did you kiss her? Yes or no?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Did you disgust her? Yes or no?
See, I can appreciate the honesty.
I can't answer. I may have disgusted her, but not intentionally.
Did you pull a Matt Lauer?
I doubt it. I don't think so.
Did you pull down?
She may have caught me picking my nose. Who knows?
Well, JD does that every day.
Literally constantly.
Don't do that in my new car. You can do that in my 04 Hyundai Elantra. Do not do that in my new Dodge Charger.
After what you just did to Jason, I'm 100% going to do it every time I get in your car.
Then you're not going to get in my car then. It's not going to happen. All right, fine. Get the hell out of here. Get out of the studio. I'm never introducing you to my friend. Get out of here.
Come on, 48 hours.
It's a ceasefire between me introducing you to any of my friends that are women. That's my ceasefire.
If she stops returning your calls for another 2 months, then you can react this way.
No,
but you're totally overreacting right now, Brian.
This is a very pretty Asian woman who happens to be taller than Jason. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. But anyway, nobody cares. We'll move on now. The guy joining us on the line right now, this guy's so popular, he's just on TV, and now he takes the time to join us every week. Who the hell are we? We always appreciate it. It's Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports. Mike, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
What's up, fellas? I'm great. How are you?
What's up, Mike?
Good.
Well.
So, Mike, we have so much to get to in such a short period of time, but we have been talking a lot about the relationship between China and the NBA, and it is my understanding you just had a great interview and a great get with the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. So can you give us this? I'm assuming this was in the last few hours. So can you give us an update on how this interview went and what's Adam Silver saying?
Yeah, the last few hours saw Adam Silver on the street in Manhattan, and he spent like 5.5 minutes talking to us about everything NBA China controversy related. touched on everything from, the outrage when the NBA put out their initial statement on Sunday, when a lot of people thought that was the NBA apologizing, and kind of, tucking their tail between their legs and, apologizing for offending all the Chinese people. So he addressed that. He addressed Daryl Morey and how Daryl Morey is doing. He said that he's been regularly checking in with Daryl Morey to make sure that he's doing okay. Obviously, there's been a lot of heat directed, his way in the last week or so. Talked about, Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter has, expressed disgust at LeBron James and, a lot of, NBA players for how they've handled this situation. We really went through everything. It's really a fascinating interview, and he was just very open, and I thought he gave, thoughtful, really great answers. It was a pretty cool interview.
And you can hear the entire interview. Is it up there on TMZ?
Yeah, we have it on TMZ Sports. Yep,
Great. Okay.
Well, no cuts, just the whole thing.
As soon as we're off the air, I'm going to have a listen to that. That's awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Steve Kerr, Gregg Popovich. As you know, they've both been against the president since day one, and that's fine. I certainly don't have a problem with that. Here's what I do have a problem with, Mike, and I'm really interested in your opinion on this. They seem to just be really quiet when it comes to this China NBA issue, and I have an issue with that. And then LeBron James comes out, and he says that Daryl Morey wasn't educated on this issue, but yet he won't give his opinions on the issue. Is LeBron James educated on the issue? Because if he is, why isn't he talking about it? These are the faces of the NBA. James Harden and Russell Westbrook are not guys 12th man on the bench. These are the faces of the league. What do they have to be afraid of? Gregg Popovich and Steve Kerr are NBA champions. These are not guys that are struggling to make it in the league. Why are they not speaking up, Mike?
Because I think there's a whole heck of a lot of money on the line, and it's easy to protest. It's easy to speak up for equal rights and for freedom when there's no effect to you or to your bottom line. But now when these guys actually have something on the line, millions and millions of dollars, I think that almost to a man, they've all passed.
Well,
LeBron had over a week. LeBron's friends with Barack Obama. LeBron has a lot of, powerful friends who understand this issue. And the fact that it took him a week, we didn't hear a peep out of him. And then when he did speak, he said what he said. He said Daryl Morey, who went to MIT and who, by all accounts, is a very smart man. And I do believe he has an understanding of the situation in Hong Kong. To say that he was uneducated on the situation, but like you say, Brian, then to not give his thoughts on the whole situation, it does not make any sense. I think these guys have taken a big hit because they're very quick to criticize President Trump,
exactly.
Not defending President Trump, but they're quick to criticize President Trump. But here, when I think by most accounts, Hong Kong, these people are fighting for their freedom. There's a lot on the line for them. They want to live in a democratic society. They don't want to live under China's rules. And the fact that all these people who are so outspoken have failed, have passed on saying anything, defending these people at all, I think it says a lot.
Well, let's be honest. It's absolute hypocrisy. And if the NBA TV, the China TV deal wasn't in place, the salary cap would probably be 20% lower. LeBron would be making
absolutely.
He'd be making
$1.3 billion.
Yeah.
With 1.3 billion people, a lot of whom are basketball fans. Yeah, a tremendously big audience, and I think it's so clear. And I understand. I'm not saying that LeBron James or Steve Kerr or anybody else shouldn't care about their money. That's silly. Of course, we're all at work right now. We're trying to make money, trying to make a living for yourself. So I understand.
No, we do this for free, Mike.
Right?
Almost free. Almost.
All right. So Errol Spence gets in a car crash last week in his Ferrari. He almost dies, and now he is apparently getting an OWI. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, they've they took his blood at the hospital. Was in a terrible accident. I'm sure most people have seen the video of his supercar flipping over 5-6 times. Luckily survived, but when he was at the hospital, they took his blood, and now that he's been released from the hospital and he's out of the woods as far as any health scare goes, they've charged him with driving under the influence. So he'll have to face those charges. But I think all in all, he probably got through this, lucky to be alive, and just he's got to learn. You can't drink and drive, and if I mean, you can never drink and drive, but gosh, and then to compound that with driving fast in a car that's hard to control. This could have been a lot worse. He could have been killed. He could have killed somebody else. So maybe he's going to lose his license and pay a fine, but hopefully he takes it as a lesson learned.
Could have been a lot worse. I agree. Let's talk a little bit about NFL's Trent Brown. By the way, for just joining us, Mike Babcock, TMZ Sports. Trent Brown is saying that he will clear his name in regards to the allegations of attacking his ex-girlfriend. How the hell is he going to clear his name in this case?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, look, right now this is just a civil lawsuit. Similar in ways to what Antonio Brown is facing, that there's not criminal charges. There's somebody who was an ex-girlfriend who's saying on several occasions that he physically harmed her. She claims that he threatened to basically kill her at one point. Rather than him allow his girlfriend to take their baby. So there are these allegations of domestic violence. She has filed a lawsuit now. Police. They don't have their head in the sand. They heard about these allegations, so now the police have launched an investigation here, and so there could be criminal charges that follow here. But yeah, he is adamant. He came out with a statement yesterday, a couple hours after the lawsuit came to light, and he says that he's going to clear his name. It's hard. It's hard to prove you're innocent. It's hard. If he in fact didn't do anything, it's hard to prove that you didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's difficult to do what he says he's going to do, but nonetheless, he vows to show that he's innocent.
And it affects Vegas because he was the biggest free agent acquisition outside of Antonio Brown in the offseason. He's also a giant man at about 6'9", 360 pounds. So I don't believe the law will go easy on him if he does get convicted.
And she actually brought up his size. Katie said that he's a big man and he kind of used his size to overpower me.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, he's a giant, and if she is telling the truth and this stuff happened, you can imagine how terrifying of a situation that would be for somebody.
So Jeff Bagwell, who was a Hall of Fame Houston Astro, says that Gerrit Cole is comparable to Randy Johnson. And I mean, let's be honest, in his last 27 starts, I believe he's lost one time. He has
might be better.
Yeah, somewhere near 300 strikeouts. His ERA is low, 1.0. His rising fastball, it regularly hits 100 in the eighth inning, and it's almost impossible to hit. Do you agree with this assessment? And do you think that it's possible that he is on PEDs, considering how good of a year he's having compared to any year he's had in the past?
I mean, I'll deal with that first. I wouldn't say it's impossible for anybody anymore. Nothing would surprise me because there have been guys that I said, no way that these guys are cheating, and then it comes out that they were cheating. So I wouldn't put that past anyone, but I don't think that there's any evidence, or I haven't heard anyone kind of allege that he's cheating in any way. He's dominant. Of all the pitchers, of all the dominant seasons that we've seen over the last 20 years or so, he is he's got to be at the top of that list. He is, like you say, to throw 100 miles an hour in the seventh, eighth inning is incredible. Even when this guy doesn't have his good stuff against the Yankees, I don't think he had his good stuff. He was walking people.
No, he had 5 walks
the other day, right? And you never see that. He wasn't able to put away batters like he usually is. The strikeouts weren't there, but that shows you, as even with his not A stuff, was still able to hold the New York Yankees lineup, which is a dominant lineup with a whole bunch of good hitters. The fact that he was able to navigate that lineup and allow no runs with his not great stuff is a testament to him. I almost think that's more impressive because when he can put the ball wherever he wants to with that fastball and those off-speed pitches,
he's unhittable.
Right, it's unhittable, but to not have your good stuff and to still be able to gut through it, this guy is absolutely incredible. I think. He could have $300+ million coming to him.
He's getting paid for sure. His agent's a happy man. That being said, the Yankees did have 7 or 8 fly balls that usually would leave, and they just didn't leave. I mean,
and you have a lot of people talking about
like the
year when everything went out
right
the parks, right, and the record home run set almost every ball club, and now this year. In this playoffs, I'm seeing balls die on the warning track, and I didn't see that at all during the regular season. If you hit something in the air at Yankee Stadium this season, this thing went out. To see these balls, DJ LeMahieu hit one to center. I didn't know if that one was going out, but when Didi Gregorius
that was gone
right field. Right, in Yankee Stadium, I say that's a 3-run home run.
Absolutely.
And it died on the warning track. So I do think there's some evidence that maybe baseball might have said, hey, deaden these balls a little bit.
Yeah, because that Didi, that up 3-2 in that situation, it would have tally changed the game. and that's crazy. So do you think that the Yankees, you're a Yankees guy, can they come back and can they win this series? They're down 2-1. They've got Tanaka, who's actually one of the best postseason pitchers of all time. No one really talks about that. Against Gregg,
I've been saying it. He's got like a 1.3. I didn't look since
it's a 1.32.
There you go. He'll have a bad regular season, then he'll great time after time. I do. I think they have the advantage today going against Gregg. For the Yankees to win, they have to win these next two games,
right.
I think. And they're obviously going to have to beat Verlander or Cole at least one time. But if the Yankees they can beat Greinke and they can beat Verlander, then I think the situation flips a little bit, and I think then the Astros are in a little bit of a tough position, whether they pitch Cole Game 6, what would be a must-win on short rest, or do they save him for a Game 7 that might never come? So I think if the Yankees can win today, I think where they have the clear advantage, and then win a game at home tomorrow, I do think it can be done. Their backs are against the wall, obviously, but I don't think this is over by any stretch.
And what's up with Giancarlo Stanton? I mean, is he just... Is he afraid to play? I mean, should he even be a Yankee moving forward?
It really went through my head whether or not this guy was just scared, didn't want to face Verlander and Cole. It's the ALCS. It's not June.
I mean, come on.
You have to be out there. If you can walk, you need to be out there. Giancarlo Stanton played in 18 games this regular season. No production, obviously. And he's getting paid $25 million this year. You have to be out there. I don't drag your leg behind you. You got to be out there. The Yankees need his bat in the lineup. The night he got hurt, he hit a bomb of a home run.
Oh, he killed that ball.
And in Game 2, guys, they could have used him when the Yankees had that thing tied up at 2 with Verlander, and they were dying for a hit. They could have used 5 at-bats by Giancarlo Stanton, and maybe he runs into one and hits a home run, and maybe this series is completely different right now.
We all know this. The Yankees need to get a W today. Well, we're going to continue to follow postseason play. Mike Babcock, we always appreciate it when you take some time to join us. Enjoy your weekend, my friend, and we will catch up with you next week.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk then.
All right, thanks a lot, Mikey.
Mike Babcock, TMZ Sports, huge Yankees fan. You can hear it in his New York thick accent. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, a positive Floyd Mayweather story. That's right. Positive. I'll explain what I mean when we come back. You're listening to The Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.